What a change in a week. As most of you know, we saw mortgage rates climb to the highest level since 2008. I'm Ryan Keenan, realtor, and this is your weekly update for September 28th. Last week we saw the Fed raise interest rates, which was largely due to the fund rate being raised by 0.75%, making it more expensive to borrow money, as well as less money circulating in the economy. If you are ever interested in wanting to know more about this, you can watch my interview I did with Patty Goodspeed on my YouTube channel last week to talk exactly about what is going on in the economy and where it's headed. I am excited to bring you this week's market update, as this should be precise and utilize your time. You can also understand what is happening in Monterey County and get on with your day without spending too much time on this video. That is the point of these market updates, come right to you. So here we go. We are in an inventory shortage environment right now in Monterey County. As of Sunday, September 25th, there are 465 active listings. Currently this week we have 90 listings in Monterey County and 56 sold. This gives us an absorption rate of 62%. If you need a refresher on what an absorption rate it is the number of houses sold divided by the number of listings. There are 14 active listings that have been on the market for 90 days or more. This is compared to last week, where we saw 98 houses active and 62 houses sold. This gives us an absorption rate of 63%. So not much change, but we do see some subtle variations. We saw more houses listed and more houses sell last week than we did this week. Now we get into the individual cities. In Carmel, we had 11 active listings this week and 7 houses sell. This gives us an absorption rate of 63%. One of those houses was bought by an institutional buyer for $1,795,000. This is interesting because we usually don't see a lot of institutional buying in these areas. So it is something to see if that continues. The highest house sold this week in Carmel was $6,700,000, and the lowest was $1,425,000. We have 5 pending sales right now in Carmel and 6 contingent sales. In Carmel Valley, we have seen a different story for the past several months. Excuse me. There were 5 active listings and 3 houses sold last week in Carmel Valley. This gives us an absorption rate of 60%. The highest price sold in Carmel Valley was $6.85 million, and the lowest price was $1,495,000. It is interesting to note, however, that we do have 10 houses that have been on the market for 90 days or longer. This is basically 1/3 of houses in Carmel Valley have been on the market for longer than 90 days. In East Garrison, we have seen 7 total listings as of right now. There are 2 active listings this week, and 4 of these 7 have been on the market for over 40 days. There were 0 houses sold last week in East Garrison. Here is where it gets really interesting. There were 9 cancellations, 4 expired, and 2 withdrawn listings in East Garrison in the past 3 weeks. I also want to highlight Greenfield, as I normally wouldn't fit it into these market updates, but looking at the data, I feel like it's important to start highlighting this area and King City moving forward. In Greenfield, we currently have 22 listings. 12 of these have been on the market for over 40 days. 0 houses sold in Greenfield this week, and there is a house in Greenfield listed at $1,950,000 that has been on the market for 1,708 days. There's a house listed at $1,750,000 that has been on the market for 148 days, and a house listed at $655,000 that has been on the market for 84 days. In King City, we currently have 20 houses for sale on the market. 8 of these have been on the market for over 40 days. There were 5 active houses this week and 1 sold. This gives King City an absorption rate of 20%. Keep in mind, anything below 20% is a seller's market. Marina currently has 28 active listings, 10 contingent, and 4 pending. This is exactly 50% of active listings compared to in contract, and Marina This week, we saw 3 houses sell. 2 of the 3 were sold for under asking. This gives Marina an absorption rate of 60% this week. There were 10 price reductions in Marina since September 1st. One of the deals that I really like in Marina is 3067 Crescent Avenue. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,918 square foot house on a 7,886 square foot lot. It has been on the market for 132 days and it's listed at $889,000. That is $463 per square foot, which I think is a really good price in this area. It is also modern and updated as well. In Monterey, we had 4 active listings and 0 sold this week. There are 44 active listings in Monterey. Currently, there are 62% of all active listings that have been on the market for over 40 days. From September 1st to September 25th, we have seen 22 active listings and 14 have sold. So this gives us an absorption rate of 63%, basically for the month of September in Monterey. However, when you start adding in, there are 11 contingent houses. You now start to get into low inventory territory in Monterey. In Pacific Grove, there are 25 active listings total. There are 5 active and 5 sold this week. There is 1 pending and 4 contingent houses this week in Pacific Grove. We have seen 2 price decreases this week in Pacific Grove, and there are 16 houses that have been on the market for over 40 days in Pacific Grove. This gives us a percentage of 64% of houses being on the market for over 40 days compared to the amount of active listings, which is 25 in Pacific Grove. In Pebble Beach, we saw 14 price decreases out of 33 active houses from September 1st to September 25th. This means that 42% of houses listed in Pebble Beach have had price decreases. 57% of houses in Pebble Beach have been on the market for 40 days or longer. We saw 4 active listings this week in Pebble Beach and 1 house sell, and this gives us a 25% absorption rate in Pebble Beach. In Salinas, there are currently 111 houses for sale. There are 13 active houses this week. In Salinas, we had 14 price decreases this week. This gives us 71% of active listings to price decreases. There are 10 houses where days on market is over 40. So I am going to make a separate video this week to break down the Salinas housing market so that you can better understand it and we can dive deeper into the metrics because it is a huge market. Seaside currently has 22 active listings. There are 7 contingent and 14 pending listings in Seaside. This gives us almost negative inventory ratios when compared to in contract versus listings in Seaside. There are 3 active listings this week and 0 sold in Seaside. In Seaside, we had 2 price decreases this week, and 1 price reduction was after only being on the market for 18 days. That house was reduced by $50,000. There are 10 houses that have been on the market for over 40 days. This gives us a 45% active listing to days on market over 40 days ratio. From the house that is sold in Seaside from September 1st to September 25th, 7 out of 14 were on the market for over 40 days. So what does this all mean? Let's break it down. In my opinion, this means that the Federal Reserve is what they're trying to do is working. Basically, raising the Fed funds rate, making money more expensive to borrow, and causing the economy to slow down. However, this is not an economic video. It is a video about the housing market in Monterey County. So what does that mean for your wallet? Well, we are seeing houses starting to sit for longer. Inventory levels are shrinking every week, and massive uncertainty is allowing buyers to have more time to make decisions. Sellers are becoming more flexible by lowering prices to get the house sold and move on. However, with the jump in mortgage rates that we've seen for 2 consecutive weeks, We are seeing less demand than we have seen over the previous 6 to 8 months. This could lead to hesitant sellers not wanting to list their house on the market because they are waiting for more buyers and demand to come back. This might be around the corner if the Federal Reserve can rein in inflation and inventory levels continue to stay low. It is interesting to see that with the current administration declaring COVID-19 officially over, we will see more offices requiring people to come back to work. We saw a huge housing boom in the market because of the work from home pandemic. Now, as everybody tries to come back, as everybody tries to come back to where they work, what will happen then? These are all hypotheticals, but these are things just to think about, as well as political and geopolitical tensions in the United States and overseas. Also, there are a ton of economic indicators that come out for this week for the housing market, as well as for the economy on inflation. This Friday, mark your calendars, is going to be huge as PCE comes out, and that is going to give us a better read on inflation. If you ever want to consult or talk with me on what you should do, I am always here to help. I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to bringing you another video next week. Have a great week, everyone.